Halloween is the one night each year when history, myth, and the supernatural entwine. Across ages, people have whispered that the veil separating the living and the dead weakens at sunset. The Celts feared and honoured this threshold, believing the spirits of ancestors walked beside them. What began as ritual became religion, then folklore, then festivity. Tonight, we journey through the haunted history of Halloween, from sacred firelit hillsides to candlelit séances, uncovering the roots of our fascination with death and the afterlife. Over 2,000 years ago, the Celts celebrated Samhain, marking summer's end and winter's beginning. To them, the year itself died, and with it came returning spirits. Bonfires burned on every hilltop as protection against roaming dead. People wore animal skins to hide from malevolent entities and left food as offerings to ancestors. The veil was believed to thin so greatly that the other world pressed close enough to hear whispers of the dead. Halloween's haunting essence began here, in sacred fear and reverence. Samhain was the season when daylight weakened, crops withered, and mortality filled every thought. The Celts did not separate life and death as we do today. They believed the dead required recognition and warmth from the living. Neglect could invite illness, famine, or madness upon the household. Thus, each October, bonfires rekindled the sun's dying power, while offerings ensured survival through winter. Halloween still echoes that same primal tension, the fear that darkness, left unguarded, might reclaim the world. Welsh folklore warned of the tailless Black Sow, a monstrous phantom that roamed Samhain nights, devouring those who lingered outdoors. Her breath brought paralysis, her shadow, madness. Farmers told children to return home before moonrise, or the sow would drag them into the dark. It was both cautionary tale and spiritual warning. Such legends carried moral weight, that wandering at the veil's edge risked one's soul. The Black Sow became a symbol of Halloween's eternal tension between curiosity and terror. The Irish spoke of the Púca, a shapeshifter haunting the fields on Halloween night. It could appear as a horse, goat, or goblin, its laughter echoing through misty hills. Farmers left behind a Púca's share of crops, a final offering ensuring good fortune and safe passage into winter. To cross paths with the Púca uninvited was to risk being spirited away. It embodied the wild unpredictability of Halloween, neither wholly evil nor good, but dangerously in between. As dusk fell, Celts gathered around sacred bonfires, their sparks representing the sun's strength through dark months. Families carried home glowing embers to relight their hearths. Fires were blessings and boundaries, light to repel spirits, warmth to protect life. Every flame became a prayer for endurance. Today's candles in pumpkins and windows trace their ancestry to these Samhain fires, preserving the belief that light holds power against the encroaching dark and its unseen watchers. By the 9th century, the Church sought to sanctify pagan rituals. Samhain became All Hallows Eve, preceding All Saints and All Souls' Days. Clergy taught that spirits wandering the earth were souls in purgatory, seeking prayers. Candles replaced bonfires, processions replaced rites, but the fear of the night remained. Instead of fairies and gods, Christians faced ghosts of the unshriven dead. The veil endured, only its theology changed, merging holy reverence with ghostly superstition. During medieval All Hallows Eve, the poor went door to door offering prayers for the departed in exchange for soul cakes. Each sweet eaten symbolised a soul freed from suffering. Children soon joined the practice, blending charity with tradition, a step towards modern trick-or-treating. The act reminded communities that the dead lingered among them, invisible yet hungry for remembrance. To forget one's ancestors was to risk becoming a wandering soul oneself, doomed to drift when the veil reopened. Across Europe, legends told of ghostly processions seen on Halloween night, the wild hunt. Riders cloaked in mist swept across skies, led by ancient gods turned phantoms. Witnessing them foretold death. Bells were rung and prayers whispered as their spectral hosts passed overhead. The hunt symbolised divine judgment and mortal fear, proof that on All Hallows Eve, heaven and hell both reached for the same fragile earth, their boundaries trembling beneath the moonlight. Halloween was not all terror. It was a night of magic and prophecy. Young people performed rituals to glimpse their fates. Apples were peeled in a single strip and thrown over shoulders to reveal the initial of a future spouse. Nuts roasted together foretold love or betrayal. Such harmless games masked deep superstition, the belief that spirits drawn close through the thinning veil might whisper secrets of destiny to the living who dared to ask. In Scotland and northern England, 31st of October was the witches' Sabbath. Folk swore that cauldrons bubbled on moors and broomsticks crossed the moon. Bonfires lit hillsides to ward off enchantment, while charms of iron and salt lined doors. Yet some believed witches protected as much as they cursed. When persecution waned, witches became Halloween icons, reminders of a time when fear of the unseen shaped every superstition, and shadow was enough to condemn. By the 1800s, Irish and Scottish emigrants carried Halloween's customs to America. In new lands, pumpkins replaced turnips, and festivals mingled folklore with frontier invention. Ghost stories, parades, and mischief followed. Halloween evolved into a blend of sacred tradition and community revelry. But beneath the laughter, old truths endured. On this night, light must shine against darkness, and humanity must confront the uneasy presence of its ancestral dead. The tale of Stingy Jack tells of a trickster who fooled the devil twice and was denied both heaven and hell. Condemned to wander the earth with only a glowing ember in a carved turnip, he became the first jack-o'-lantern. His story reminded people that Halloween's dangers extended beyond ghosts. Even the damned might seek warmth among the living when the gates between realms swung open. By the late 19th century, Halloween's ghostly reputation inspired haunted attractions. Yet stories tell of real houses that grew restless each 31st of October. Objects moved, candles flared, and cold spots deepened. Families claimed unseen visitors returned for one night. Modern haunted houses mimic this unease, but many investigators insist that Halloween itself amplifies spiritual energy, awakening places already touched by tragedy or loss. Victorians obsessed with the afterlife saw Halloween as the perfect night for spirit communication. Candlelit parlours hosted séances. Tables tilted, trumpets spoke, and icy draughts signalled unseen presences. Whether hoax or genuine, these gatherings cemented Halloween as a night of spiritual daring, where the veil was not only observed, but intentionally breached, in the hope that someone, or something, would answer from the other side. By the 1920s, Halloween became a festival of children. Pranks, once destructive, were replaced by sweets and laughter. Communities encouraged trick-or-treat as a way to channel ancient customs into modern civility. Behind the smiles, the practice echoed ancient bargains. Give the spirits what they desire, and they will pass your home in peace. 1,000 years of fear disguised itself in sugar and delight. During both World Wars, Halloween took on new meanings. Families lit candles for soldiers far from home, acts of remembrance rooted in All Souls' prayers. In bomb-darkened cities, ghost stories offered solace and superstition blended with survival. Letters described strange coincidences, clocks stopping at death, whispers in ruined halls. The idea of the veil thinning resonated deeply, reminding mourners that love and loss could bridge even death. In Kent's Deering Woods, Halloween night is marked by the sound of cries echoing through the trees. Locals call it the Screaming Woods, home to spirits of those who perished long ago. Each 31st of October, investigators report cold breezes and whispered names among the branches. Whether folklore or true haunting, the woods embody Halloween's spirit, where nature itself seems to mourn and remember those trapped between this world and the next. Púca, known as England's most haunted village, becomes eerily active each Halloween. Witnesses see the lady in red searching for her lost child, hear hooves of the highwayman, and watch ghostly coaches racing through mist. Researchers believe atmospheric conditions heighten phenomena on this night, or perhaps, as villagers whisper, the veil simply opens wider above Púca, allowing centuries of restless souls to wander home. Television and technology transformed Halloween into the high holy day of ghost hunting. From EVP sessions to thermal cameras, investigators descend on haunted sites each October, seeking proof that the night holds power. Skeptics cite psychology, but believers argue Halloween's origins. The belief in a thinning veil are no superstition. Even machines, they say, hum differently when the dead draw near. Across Europe, Halloween's spirit manifests in many forms. In Italy, candles guide ancestral spirits home. In Eastern Europe, doors are left ajar for visiting souls. Old superstitions persist. Avoid sweeping after dark or you might brush away the dead. Each country's rituals echoes the same ancient fear, that neglecting the returning departed invites misfortune. Halloween binds a continent through remembrance, reverence, and lingering dread. By the 1950s, Halloween in America became spectacle. Parades, horror films, haunted hayrides. Yet its power endured because it touched something primal. Every jack-o'-lantern flickers like an ancient Samhain fire. Every costume echoes the old disguises of the dead. Hollywood commercialized fear, but Halloween's heart never changed. It remains humanity's yearly dance with mortality, cloaked in laughter and candlelight. Costumes have always carried meaning. To the Celts, masks confused spirits. To Victorians, they granted daring anonymity. Today, they allow us to flirt with fear, to become the monsters we dread. Halloween's masks remind us that darkness lives in everyone, and that acknowledging it, even playfully, keeps it at bay. Beneath the fun lies an ancient truth. To mock death is to momentarily conquer it. From cursed dolls to possessed mirrors, objects tied to death often stir on Halloween. Museums report lights flickering, whispers, and movement among exhibits. Curators avoid overnight shifts near such relics each October. Skeptics blame imagination, but many insist the veil empowers items steeped in grief or devotion, reminding us that memory itself can haunt. On Halloween, even silence holds a story. Halloween's true ghost may be time itself, our awareness of its passing. Every year we circle back, lighting lanterns against winter's cold, honouring names long forgotten. In that ritual lies comfort. The dead are not gone. They are cyclical, reborn in our memories, our traditions, our fear of endings. Halloween teaches that death, like autumn, is only change. Many modern pagans still observe Samhain as the time when the veil is thinnest. Altars are set, candles lit, and food left for ancestors. Some claim to dream vividly of the dead on this night. Even skeptics feel the atmosphere shift. Air thick, sound distance, time slowed. Whether cosmic or psychological, something changes on Halloween, whispering that the world is wider than science admits. Japan's Obon, China's Ghost Festival, and Mexico's Dia de los Muertos share Halloween's essence: communication with the dead. Across cultures, the belief persists that spirits return seasonally, drawn by memory and love. Halloween's haunted history is not unique but universal, proof that humanity, wherever it lives, senses the same thin line between presence and absence, and seeks to honour it with fire, food, and story. Paranormal researchers argue that collective emotion fuels supernatural activity. Halloween, they claim, creates a surge of psychic energy, millions focused on the unseen. Whether this manifests as cold spots, poltergeist, or coincidence, the effect is undeniable. Fear is power, and belief shapes experience. Halloween thrives because, for one night, imagination and the paranormal coexist in the same breath. The last ember of Halloween's bonfire symbolises the promise of return, of light reborn after darkness. From Samhain fires to today's pumpkin candles, the flame endures as humanity's answer to death. It tells us that remembrance is resistance. Every spark, every flickering lantern, is defiance against oblivion, a whisper to the departed that they are not forgotten, even when the night grows cold. Halloween began with fire and fear, but endures through memory and mystery. It reminds us that life and death are not opposites, but companions, forever intertwined. When we light a candle or carve a lantern, we echo ancient rites. On this night, the world pauses, the veil thins, and we remember what haunts us most: that death was never meant to be the end.